in person.
Hello and happy Sunday and welcome to Caller in Person. I am your host, Mel Jordan.
And I'm Maddy.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So excited. I'm like, let me get comfy. So how are we feeling today?
Feel good. Feel a little nervous, but I'm happy to be here.
How's your week been?
It's been stressful. It's been a big week. Wedding is coming up so quick.
We love a good wedding.
Can't wait to see you there. You're going to look so beautiful. You've seen my dress.
I have. I was there. I was there for the dresser fitting. So it was very...
You helped me pick it.
I did.
That was a fun day.
Yeah, that was a good day. Yeah.
We've had a lot of fun days.
We have. Should we talk about how long we've known each other? Just so everyone can get known to our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll give you the honors because I already talk way too much on this.
Well, I knew you before Rainy. So before Buggy came along, we met. Well, how old's Raina? So
7.
So we would have met about 8 or 9 years ago.
Yep.
Through a mutual. It's always the friendships where we don't speak to the person who introduced us.
Yeah. What is it they say? The name that shall not be said.
Voldemort. Yeah. But the best friendships come from those where we ditch the person who introduced us.
That person was toxic as fuck.
Yes, very toxic.
Very toxic.
But that's cool. That's fine.
That's cool because we found each other.
I always say that out of terrible relationships and friendships, there's always like a shining light, and that's the friends that you get.
Touche. That's true.
Yeah. And we've never fought.
No, never.
We've
not
never
even
had disagreements. We've never fought, and we're like chalk and cheese, the complete opposites of one another.
We are. We really are.
We've grown, I reckon, a lot. Like from the day that we've met each other till now, we've both lived 1,000 lives.
Yes.
Like you've become a whole ass mom. I've gone from being in toxic, horrible relationships to being in a fully healthy, laugh, love relationship.
Yeah, I don't ever say this because, I'm not a romantic, but I will say Maddy's and her partner's relationship are definitely like a very healthy, like couple goals. And I never say that shit.
Yeah,
like
so
I don't, but it's the healthiest relationship I've ever experienced. She's amazing.
She is amazing.
She's like really nice. She's like really nice.
It was hard.
But she's really like from the beginning. Do you remember the time we first spoke to her and we were on the phone partying at your house?
Yeah.
Well, the first time I spoke to her.
You met her over FaceTime. We did long distance. She was in Cairns.
Yep.
And she'd met all my friends mainly over FaceTime because we're always having a couple of cheeky reds,
Yeah, we used to hit the reds hard.
We used to,
reds and the vapes. Still vapes, less reds. Oh, yeah. I'm a white girl now. I'll probably get some wine tonight, to be honest with you.
I love that.
But you have cut down a lot with drinking, but we used to drink a fair bit.
Yeah, when I was way more like unhealthy and in toxic situations, it was definitely like a coping mechanism. But now I don't have anything to cope about. It's very weird.
That's funny because I never really thought about that. Like I have noticed I don't smoke anymore, but I mean, I want to. When I'm ready, I'll do it again, but I don't drink as much anymore. But I have noticed you have. And I didn't ever think that it was because of the unhealthy relationship you're in, but that makes sense now.
Well, yeah, I was definitely doing things I was smoking cigarettes, I was smoking marijuana, I was drinking, I was overweight, I was doing all of those things. But now I don't actually do like anything.
How much weight have you lost? Tell them.
Oh,
it's a big motherfucking achievement. You should be so proud.
Person, I've lost like over 60 kilos now.
That's sick. Like that is mad.
Yeah. Since you met me for shorties, I've changed like I'm a full different person now, but I'm still me to my core. Like
definitely.
We still have the things we love about each other, but you've definitely seen me come a long way.
Yeah, very, very long way. We both have. We both had toxic relationships.
Yes.
Oof, that's a hell of a PTSD.
Yeah.
But we both definitely seen the worst in relationships with each other.
Yeah.
But that made us stronger because we can relate.
And relatable, yeah.
And we don't judge each other. We judge them.
Yeah. Well, if we judged each other, we wouldn't be able to speak to each other because we've both been in horrible situations. And also dumb at times, like a bit in denial.
Oh, I will definitely put my hands up. Yeah, so will you, like respectfully.
100%.
Yeah, but I never told you that and you never told me that. We just ran them down still, not each other. But sometimes you have to, I feel like, you have to be in, like, you have to get there on your own when it comes to a relationship.
Well, that's support, right? Like, you listen to your girlfriends talk about the same thing 100,000 times until they're over it because we love each other.
Yeah.
And why kick someone when they're down? You know they're going to come out the other side. You just have to let them come to that conclusion.
Yeah. I mean, we weren't too bad. Like, we knew when to stop. Like, for me, when I stopped, I was like, I'm sick of hearing myself talk about it.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, knew I was over it. I wouldn't say healed, but do you get what I mean?
Yeah, when you're sick and tired of it. But I do love that, like, moment when you know, even in yourself or when you see your girlfriends have that, like, light bulb moment of like, fuck this guy, man, or fuck this girl. Like, I'm done with them. And you can see the shift in them. That's my favorite because I'm like, finally. But if you push them to come to that conclusion, there'll be resentment.
Yeah, that's true. But there is a limit where how much can you listen to? Like, to the point. I always say my cutoff is if they hit you.
Oh,
Like, that's my cutoff. Like, if it's getting physical,
I can't forgive that.
Either you let me step in and get physical with that person,
yeah,
or I can't hear that because that's something I can't allow. The cheating I've heard many times. That's normal. I think
the mental abuse, the cheating, the lying, all of that type of stuff. We're just like, all right, babe.
We're used to narcissists.
Yeah, you've got to get there. But if it becomes physical, no matter if they're a man or a woman, the second that it becomes physical to me, I'm like, no, don't be a dumb bitch. It escalates.
Yeah, well, it never gets better coming from someone that's had many past physical relationships. It doesn't end once.
No, it doesn't, and it only escalates. And in Australia, it's not. You know the outcome will be most likely your death, especially if you're straight, because that's where they escalate to. You have to leave them immediately. As soon as things get physical or it's progressing to that place, there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, it's fucking scary, to be honest. Yeah.
It is scary. Statistically speaking, straight women, especially in Australia, they don't stand a chance once it becomes physical.
That's rough. And a lot of girls don't leave, like, because they're so
scared.
Yeah, or they think they won't have anything, or the men will, I'm speaking on my end, obviously men, they will make you feel like you won't have nothing. Like, the amount of time I've heard a man say, like, you'll have nothing without me. And it's like, okay, like, I literally have everything I want in my whole life. Like,
yeah, because it's that mental control. It's like, if they're financially abusing you, romantically, physically, and once it gets physical, it's like, there's no coming down off that anymore.
Yeah.
Once it progresses to that point, it is very scary. And it's, for women especially, it's time to really make a plan and like move in silence. But you can't let people control you to that extent, even financially, like thinking you can't go without, because you don't have access to money or things like that. It would be a really hard position to be in.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know what it's like to be in those situations, but then the light at the end of the rainbow is the healthy relationship.
But I like the rainbow.
Yeah. But it's hard because then I kind of was the toxic one, Like, yeah, like I didn't know how to act in a relationship.
What, you mean with your partner now?
Yeah, like with like the healthiness, like because it was just so chill. I was like, well, what do I do?
What did you do? I didn't like, well, what did you do? Give me something.
I thought at the start, and she knows
I'd like that you take accountability for it, because I didn't know this.
100%. So we're almost 4 years in now, but at the start I was like, there wasn't any like back and forth. There wasn't any like, bullshit or mind games. So I was like, am I bored?
Oh, the ick.
Am I getting the ick? Like, am I creating drama so that there's something to do? Like, I feel like my poor partner was like, what the fuck have I done? But at the start, I was really like, what do you mean we don't yell and shout at each other? What do you mean you don't hang up on me? What do you mean there's no fighting? And I'd be like, just chilling. Like, what am I going to do? And I had to really, really work on my toxic shit because I fully was like, my whole life I spent relationships where there was like some sort of toxicness in them that I almost thought my partner was like boring, because I was like, well, you don't care if I hang out with my friends. You're not like.
So you thought it was like
she didn't care. Yeah.
I get it.
But really now in hindsight, especially now that I'm so accustomed to like being treated so well, I can't stomach it for other people.
Yeah.
Like, I used to think that caring was like being so up in my ass when I was out with my friends or going to do
like
something. Yeah, like
in a sense.
Like, what are you doing? Who are you with? And I'm like, oh, they love me. Yes.
Yeah.
But no.
Coming home. Yeah.
Absolutely not. She never ruins my nights, my times, nothing like that. And if I'm with my friends and she's on night shift, she'll call me, say hello, as you know, for 5 minutes.
She does.
And then she'll be like, I don't want to take up your time, baby. Like, have the best night. And at the start, I was like, you don't care about me.
Yeah, I'd be the same.
And then now I'm just like, oh, my friends will tell me one little thing about their partner, and I'm like, 000 immediately.
Yeah, you are. You are like that.
Absolutely not.
Like red flag.
Red
Yeah.
flag immediately, because I'm so
Did she
accustomed.
bring those issues up, or did you figure them out on your own that you were being toxic and bringing it into a new relationship? Or did she pull you aside and say, well, hang on a second, what's happening right now?
Bit of both, to be honest. Like at the start, I didn't recognize it as much because I was so accustomed to the past.
Mhm.
And then one night she was like, yo,
Keep doing your thing.
like, what are you doing? Like, are you trying to cause trouble? Like, are you trying to make issues where there's no issues?
To be created.
Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? Absolutely not. And then I was so caught up in my own bullshit. Like, I wasn't too bad because I was just trying to figure out if I was bored, if she wasn't for me, if I needed someone that was more like territorial or
Controlling?
controlling.
I hate to say the word, but coming from your ex, who I know very well, controlling.
Yeah, like even I've always had partners that when it got to the point of us breaking up, even though they didn't want me, they didn't want anyone else to have me. So it was always like I always felt this push and pull going from one relationship to the next. But in this breakup, I didn't have that. In this breakup, like before I got with my partner, I kind of had the freedom to do whatever I wanted to an extent. And then I also had this person who was just so happy and relaxed and like was fully just so supportive of me, could do long distance. She works away in the mines. So, you know.
That's a dream of mine. It is. I'm sorry. I need my space.
Yeah,
I'm gonna date again.
is.
Like I need that. That would be a dream for me.
It is. It's really nice, like for me, especially because I am used to having a bit of like my own space.
Yeah, you like being alone. You're like, you do.
It's my house.
Yeah. And I always say her house makes me feel like I'm in my house. Like, and no one's house has ever made me feel like that, where I just like I feel like
such a compliment.
Yeah. Because it's home is where the heart is, as cliche as it sounds. And for me, I told you earlier before we filmed, I'm really liking being home.
Yeah.
And you've always been like that. Like you have no problem at all being on your own. Like on a Saturday night, you don't get FOMO. Like you're very content and not even at home drinking or doing anything.
I just love my home.
Yeah.
And I really, really worked hard to make it home. And I protect it at all costs because it's so important to me.
Yeah, it's a positive space. I feel the same about my apartment. Like
absolutely.
I've grown to do exactly what you said. Like before you just be aesthetics, and now it's like I'm here. Like this is where we live. This
is where we spend all our time. It has to be safe. It has to be warm. It has to be welcoming. Like my biggest compliment is when people say like, I love being at your home. I love coming here. I always feel so safe here. I feel so good. Like to me, that is such my like vibe. Like that is the biggest compliment to me now, is that people can find refuge in my home, but they can also just relax, be themselves.
We love a good Mario Party game in the house. Yes, with the aircon pumping and the blanket.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah, your home is definitely a safe space. So yeah. You should definitely.
I like that. So is yours. Your home is really beautiful. And it is like such a nice place. But it's something I'm very proud of. Something I always like to have is a clean space, but like a warm, welcoming space.
Yeah, definitely. And you definitely have achieved that, my friend.
Thank you.
So should we talk about the wedding?
Yes, sure.
So we found the love of our lives, right?
Yeah.
Okay, before we get to the wedding, let me ask you, if I'm a girl that's been single, how long now have I been single? A long time.
A long time.
A long time, like, but by choice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, like, because people will want to know this. I think this is a good question. It just came into my head. It's not on my question card.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the reason I took being on my own too far.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
I generally like being single. I like being alone. I don't date. I think I've went on 2 dates in literally 3-4 years. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into dating because I'm not into just like hooking up. I'm like a relationship girl. So I'm like in an all kind of thing.
Yeah.
But for me, how do you think because we both have similar exes in a sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would you suggest for me? Because I've never asked you this. So what would you suggest for me to try and put my wall down? Because I am a bit of a man hater. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody knows that. Like, they're cool, but they're not cool to come kick it at my house in my space of my child. I don't know. What's your advice? Not just me, but for girls that are watching that can't.
I have like always thought, and I always feel like this in my soul, is like, if you always go for the same thing, you'll always have the same outcome. And like, you've seen my exes. I always date a similar type.
Definitely.
I've always had like a flavor, you know, and it's led me fucking nowhere. So to me, it's like now my partner is the complete opposite.
Yes.
Complete
It makes
opposite.
sense. When I see you together, I'm like, how do we even with these other people?
I don't
like,
know.
Respectfully, but not respectfully. But do you get now?
Because I was dating with my eyes, you know, like I was dating with like.
But your partner now smokes.
Yeah, she is.
I was like,
She is a
eyes,
smoke
bitch,
show.
eyes. They were worse.
She's a
Like,
smoke show.
you know that.
But like my type was always like very masculine, like tattoos, very like, you know, always a bit naughty.
Bad girl.
A bit of a
bad
baddie.
boy. A baddie.
And then now I have someone who breaks their back to work hard, earns money legally, absolutely fucking is a smoke show. She has long hair. It's crazy to me.
She's
like
fit as fuck
she
too.
is fit as fuck.
Yeah, she
is a
football or soccer.
A bit of both. Bit of both.
We like a fit queen.
But yeah, she's a fit queen. And
she's still obviously like she's still manly, but not she's in like, that sense.
She definitely is the opposite of me. Like I'm very feminine. Yeah. I am very girly. I am, you know, the woman as such. But she is still like the masculine energy in my life. She'll still protect me. She'll still stick up
and she
to
likes
me.
To build shit and stuff.
Yeah,
like she's
like handy.
I wouldn't say man, is that disrespectful? But the woman of the house.
Yeah, like
does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're the queen and she's the king.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. But I had to change my type. Like I had to say down to like the most pathetic things. Like in my head, I was like, even if they wear a certain type of clothing, you know, if they,
you know, that's me.
I know. That's right.
I hate dirty shoes and I hate dirty. Like, I will look at guys' shoes first. So that's my problem as well. Yeah. You just help me answer that.
I got to get rid of that. I had to get rid of it. And I was like, if they even do one thing that's on my list of no's, I don't care how much I love them, how much I am attracted to them. It's a no. So AJ ticked all these things on my boxes where I was like, okay, I'm a little scared because you are so the opposite of what I'm used to. And I was scared to introduce her to my life, you know, because she's never been exposed to that. Like the way that I acted, what we were talking about earlier with drinking and smoking and partying and.
But you were still cool. You weren't like a fucking menace.
Yeah. In comparison to her though, I felt like dirt.
Yeah. I get it, but
I had to overcome that because she thought that I was the most insane, perfect thing in the whole world. And I was like giving her little crumbs about my life. Like, okay, well, this is about my ex, or this is about my parents, this is about my friends. Like, and I have friends from such a diverse group of people.
Like me, I've mixed.
All my friends are from like different walks of life. And because I really pride myself on keeping my friends. If they're good people, I have like such a diverse friend group. So she's starting to meet people at the start. And some of them were you, some of them were other girls, some of them were people from different walks of life where she's like, how do you even know each other? Like, what? Like, what
where did they come from?
Yeah, where the hell did they come from? And I'm like, babe, this is nothing. Just buckle up.
Yeah.
So I would like feed her crumbs at the start because I was like, she's going to run. Like, this girl is crazy. Why even here? And I had to get over that too because I had such a fear that there would be something that would trigger her or something that I didn't realize that when you actually find someone who gives a flying fuck about you, they're not just going to leave.
Yeah.
And they're not going to do awful things to you and they're not going to threaten you and they're not going to hold things over your head. And I have this thing, like, I know everyone's probably seen it now on the internet, but it's like when you find a healthy relationship, and you're so much more scared that they're going to die rather than cheat, that is true life. Like all my other girlfriends, no matter where they were going, like parties, jail, fucking anywhere, I would always be like, don't cheat on me. AJ could literally go to a beach.
They did. Did they not?
Every single one of them. Yeah. Every single one of them.
I'll be honest. I'm like, yeah, they did. In all of those categories you just mentioned.
My gut feeling never lies. My intuition, it does not lie. And it always tells me. But AJ could literally go to a party with 50,000 naked models and I would be like, please get home safe. I love you so much. Please get home safe. Yeah. Like, I worry more about her well-being than I ever worry about her. She does not care about her phone, which is the biggest turn on. Like, for me,
just rare. That's like, that doesn't happen a lot with people.
Biggest dick is honestly one of my biggest icks is phones. Like, people that get their validation directly through their phone turns me off so bad.
You should be that person. But growth. I spoke about in the couple episodes I admitted to it. It's growing and I am much better. Even with posting now, I'm way less. But you got to just grow up. And
it feels like they care about you more when there's not a separation of like,
obviously,
hang on 2 seconds or like not hearing questions or like not being at a party or at dinner or at your family's house where it's like, you know, put your phone down and be present.
I get it.
Let people know who you are, you know. So I never
And you know,
realized
the best times when you'll notice the best time you're having is when everyone isn't on their phone.
Exactly. And there's no fear. It's just like, we could go to lunch and be out of the house for 3 hours and she'll go, "Have you seen my phone?" And I'll be
I
like,
love that. That turns me on.
"My God, I wish, like that is so nice." Because all my ex relationships and situations, they have always been so sneaky through their phones. And so getting their validation.
You know now why. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they have to have that contact and that
It's
other
worse when they
people
got
telling
two
them.
phones.
Yeah. Which one do I go through?
The second one, because we can't get into that one.
Yes, even worse. Honestly, it's hell. And it's like, when people need to get their validation through the internet, to me
Yeah.
it's so crazy because it's like
Been there, so guilty.
people telling them how they look or how they feel and how they represent themselves. And like we've spoken about before, perspective is like,
Yeah.
what they see on the internet is not my girlfriend. Like that is, my exes would be playing a part, and they would be getting this clout or these feelings. And I'm like, I'm at home with this little bitch. Like they're the ones crying, like wanting to fucking have their head patted. Like that's not who they are.
I know.
They're lying.
Because they're always putting on a persona to try.
Because the grass is always greener.
Yeah, but the grass is greener where you water it and pay attention to it and show love to
Fucking
it. Like that is a saying, and but it actually
it's
is
true.
so true.
Which is why I'm getting married.
Exactly. We'll get to that, but we're gonna go back to because we're getting. I love it though. We're just
vibing.
So the icks. Okay, so you're right. My thing is as well, like we're going back to the me not dating thing, right?
Yeah.
I get the ick really bad.
Yeah.
So first thing I look at is the shoes. That's a fact because I'm a big sneaker gal, but it says a lot to me. If you can't take care of your shoes or your socks aren't pure white that match your clean shoes, we've got a problem. Says a lot. You know what I mean? Or guys that don't wear socks at all.
Both. Red flag.
Like biggest red flag. So for me, that's a big one. I get the ick very easy. I remember I went on a date like years ago. It was one day. And I really liked him the whole day. Like nothing happened. I think we kissed, but it was just a day, very chill. And this could be even like pre-rain. I didn't even know it was so long ago. And I went home. He went to his. I woke up the next day, and this is God honest truth with the ick. Like I woke up, my eyes, and I had like this fucking ick just overtook. Like I had an ick, sis. Like that is the weirdest ick you could ever get. I've never experienced one where I liked him going to sleep. I was like, yeah, I could do a second date. And then I woke up despising him. I barely spoke to him again. And I don't think to this day, because he still tries to say, let's catch up just as friends. I don't even think to this day he gets what happened.
But maybe you don't either.
I don't, obviously. Like, I think I had a dream, to be honest, about him in general, but not like a sexy dream, just a normal dream. But something happened in that fucking 12 hours of sleep because I woke up and he made me sick to my stomach.
Him watching this, he's like...
He won't know it's him. I swear. I know. He was so nice. Honestly, he was a really nice guy. But the ick, like that's crazy.
It is crazy because that's probably more to do with you than him.
I know. No, I knew. And that's definitely a me issue. But that's what I'm saying. This is why I can't date because this is who I am. I go on a date that goes perfectly, and I get the ick when I wake up in the morning.
Crazy.
I know.
I think sometimes you have to push through it though.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I really do think you have to push through the ick.
I know who I'm gonna like. Like I got a vision for what I want for myself and like career wise, and I'm at the point now because I feel the reason I'm single so long, it's not going to do with my exes. Like they all did what they did, and I'm healed from that, and I've forgiven them, and like I'm cool with one of them, not the rest, but the most reason I'm cool as fuck. You know what I mean? I can move on and heal. I feel I don't want to settle now because I have Raina.
Yeah.
And I know what I'm worth and I know the kind of person I am in a relationship. And you know that too. I'm very loyal.
Yeah.
Like never cheated in my life. It's just not my vibe. Yet I'm always cheated on. It's ironic how that works.
Same as me, babe.
Always ugly bitches too.
Yeah.
Crazy how that works.
I always get cheated on no matter how loyal I am.
That's not why I have trust issues because to me that unfortunately that isn't implicated in my mind. But I'm at the stage I'm just like, oh man, what can you do? Like, so for me, I've never been a girl that goes through people's phones. Like that's not my personality. I have done it.
I am 100%. I am. I'd rather know.
I always find out anyway. I just feel like God's timing will find out anyway. But what I'm saying is, I'm really not really that person. Have I done it? Yes. When I like,
will I do it again? Absolutely.
Drinking, we've been drinking together, like, and I'm feeling a bit sus. So the suspicions are already planted.
Gut
instinct. So do I have had a peek. I'm not going to say I fucking haven't, because I have.
It's so hurtful though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it hurts like a bitch, especially when you see who they're talking to. You're like, God damn.
Man, why? Why did I do this? But also, fuck you. Get out of my house.
To me, when it's an emotional connection, like when they say that they ask them, "How's your day?" and you're like, "Mine was good too. Thank you for not asking."
Babe, when they talk about you, boof, absolute rudeness. I'm just
the audacity.
The audacity.
The audacity.
Do not even like just sleep with my partner, but actually talk about me as well.
I had ones where they didn't even sleep together. It was like an emotional connection, and I was like,
that hurts.
That's weird. Like, that's weird energy.
I'm gonna say no.
Like, I live with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just
we're on the couch together. Like when you see dates and times, and it's like pivotal moments too, and you're like, we're at my grandma's funeral. Like,
bro, I had an ex.
What?
Like, R.I.P. But I had an ex, and we went to a photo shoot, and I got him in it. So I brought him. Bro, like, he wasn't a model type, but they needed men.
Mm-hmm.
You best believe he was sending the girl.
No.
He met in rehab the pictures of him at the photo shoot with me there.
He's like, I got a gig. I'm at a gig with another model.
Like, this is what we're dealing with. This is why girls we don't like men anymore.
No.
And I know I can say, you've said it, lesbians are just as trifling.
Absolutely.
And the gays, like, you don't have, you've said we're not into like solid relationships. Like, it's very rare. That's why I love you and AJ, because it's very healthy and rare. But like, I know that I have other like gay friends, and like, no, I think you're the only lesbian friend I had, but I've learned a lot from you. Have a lot of them around you. So every time we go to a house party, I'm one of the rare straight ones.
I like a piece of me. I'm sorry about that.
Leave them alone.
I'm like, this is Mel. Leave her the fuck alone, okay?
And they don't.
She's striking sin. No, the audacity of everybody involved. I've definitely earned AJ. Like, I went through the hard yards to get her, that's for sure. I think over the years as well, I've learned that I just have to be myself, and no matter how much I've given and things have gone bad, I can't like take that away from me. Like, I can't be saying, you know, I'm just going to be a bad person now because of all these terrible things. I'm not going to be loyal anymore. I continue to keep up my loyalty. And the way that I love people is so wholeheartedly that I knew that eventually I'd either die alone or I would find someone that would match my energy.
And I'm so focused on just being a good mum to Raina because of my childhood. I'd rather just put my all into her. And even when my friends say, "Oh, but you'll be alone," like, so. Like,
but you also have like a set of eyes watching you now, that especially having a daughter, I think it's really, and not that I have kids, but for me personally, I think it's so important when you have a daughter watching you that you don't show her that you're going to allow shit.
Yeah.
Like if Raina's going to grow up and date men or women, you have to set an example to her about how she's treated.
Yeah, and I do that.
You can't let men treat you like shit in front of her and then wonder when she gets older why she dates shit, because
that was me as a child. My mum did the same.
Yeah. It's an example.
You know that. And I have dated hers weren't bad boys. You know, I had like the old bad boys too, but hers weren't like that, but they mistreated her. She was in violent, like hostile situations. I seen as a child.
Yeah.
Physical, mentally, many times, many partners, like not just one. And that's why I say I'm almost not surprised. I am a single mom in the relationships I've had because I saw it growing up with my mom.
Yeah.
And you know me, I've never once blamed that for.
It's a cycle to break though, like, because that was the example you were given.
Yeah, and I've broken it now, but I've really broken it, and I'm just like hanging in there for the last 7 years. but that's the point I was trying to get at. I'm not going to settle anymore.
No.
And I'm okay being alone for 7 years. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I feel empowered. I feel like a strong woman. And I know my daughter sees me like that, and she gives me all the love in the world. And like I've said before, I truly know my soulmate is Buggy. So I'm not out there looking for a soulmate. Like, I don't want to know your favorite fucking color. And I absolutely don't want to know how your day was at work. I don't care, because I like, it's to the point, even when guys DM me, they're like, "Hey, beautiful." I'm like,
yeah. And I hate that. What did I say to AJ the other day? Oh, one of our friends went on a date I can't even remember what it was about, but afterwards we had this whole conversation and we listened to the whole story. And then as soon as like we hung the phone up or they left, I can't remember what the sitcho was. I just turned to AJ and was like, thank God we never have to date again. Don't ever cheat on me.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if I have to go back on the dating scene, I'm being straight. I'm gonna be
stay single with me forever. It's a good time.
100%.
I will say one thing: being single, it brings peace. Like I don't have any worries. The only worries I got about is like when bills are due, or the health and safety of my child. Like other than that, I go to work, I train every day, I mind my business. I don't have to like. That's one thing I will say, and I really like it. Like I don't.
It's peaceful, but like, you know, if you do want to date again, and I do think that you know, eventually will. Of course,
yeah, definitely. One day.
I think
I feel like I'm wasting my looks and age
not
now.
The same as what you've always done, because what's the point? You know, I know that like it turns you on to an extent, but at the same time, it's like fuck that, man.
It's find
a good man
I know from the past. I know for a fact I will absolutely never date anyone in that kind of circle or vibe. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that to myself or. But I know what I want, and it's a guy that's like really tan from the UK. I just don't.
Specifically, I know exactly what I want,
and he's like a businessman. So I don't know if that's going to happen, you know. But that's what I'm manifesting. I manifested this podcast, and I've started it. So that's one step. So you never know.
I feel like I manifested my whole life.
Yeah, like, you said that. You have said that.
I have manifested financial security. I've manifested a healthy relationship, a beautiful partner. I literally wanted to break all my toxic cycles of doing the same thing and the same people in the same ways and living in a life where I was always struggling romantically, financially, and in health. Yeah, I really took manifesting seriously, and I manifested the shit out of my beautiful life. Like my beautiful home, my beautiful car, my beautiful partner.
Your job, you got a mad job.
I've got a mad job. I have financial stability for the first time pretty much in my adult life.
Yeah, you killed it.
And I
to be fair.
really do. Like, I don't take away from the hard work that I did. I honestly had to work my ass off to get here. But at the same time, I definitely feel like manifestation and like mental, like where your mind is at is everything.
Definitely.
When I was always in the dumps and always sad and living the same things, that was the energy I always got. I always got the bad. I always got those feelings. But when I like was faking it, and at the start I really was, I was like, I'm so lucky. Like, oh, even when shit was so hard, I was like, no, this is my life. I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. I'm so rich. Blah, blah, blah. And then things really started to work for me. And it's like this hamster wheel that I'll never get off. It's just, I don't talk shit on myself anymore, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I believe in manifestation. You taught me that.
Yeah, and mindfulness, like.
And I'm a big, when you say down in the dumps, and I've said it on the past podcast, if you keep thinking like that, you're going to be in that cycle.
That's what you get.
Yeah, because you're just being negative every day. And I've said it to similar friends when they're down a lot. I'm like, you got to get out of it. And sometimes they're like, it's not that easy. I'm like, but it is. It's not easy per se. You don't just.
It's always faking it till you make it. You know?
Like I said that too. I said it is that easy because you've got to put that mindset into your mind. So yeah, it kind of is that easy if you think about it.
Yeah.
But you got to make steps. You can't just wake up every day and go, oh, I fucking hate life. Because obviously you're not going to feel good if you say that.
Well, what you put out is what you get. And I honestly am a big
friends,
believer.
Family, everything.
You really have to fake it. And that's the hard, like when you really are in the toughest time of your life, you really have to fake it. You just have to pretend that everything is okay and that everything's going to be better and that it already is. Like you have to speak it into fruition. Like what you want is what you already have, even though you don't.
For sure. For real. Okay, hi, we're back. The camera started going down on an angle, so we had to fix it. Come a bit closer to the mic, Joel. God knows how this is going to sound. One of the mics broke, so we're stuck with, well, it didn't break, but it kind of did. So we're stuck with one. So if the audio is
nice.
Yeah, it's comforting.
It's comforting.
It's comforting. If it's a bit not the best audio today, I mean, fuck it, we move because we're not going to redo 40 minutes of this. This is natural and this won't even be edited. But let's get to it.
Yeah.
Wedding. All of this toxic talk, it's gone tush tush. It's Sunday. Let's talk about the wedding.
27 days until we're married.
I know, that's amazing.
I know.
I'm very excited, to be honest.
I'm
a little nervous because I don't know many people, but.
Well, you will when you leave. You'll have, way more beautiful friends.
I'm a social butterfly. I'll make it work.
Absolutely. And my friends are gorge.
Yeah, they are. I've met heaps of them. but not a whole wedding worth. But it'd be exciting to meet AJ's friends. I've never met any of them.
They're very cool. Very,
Anybody?
very cool. Oh, yeah.
Even if they're girls, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Who am I to judge?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, they are. They're very beautiful girls. They're very cool, very country vibes. Love them.
Love a good country
They're
mentality.
very relaxed. I feel like we're like two worlds colliding at this point, you know, like
City
very,
versus country?
Yeah. Very different people. I think when they first met me, they were like, well, what is she going to do with this high maintenance bitch? And I'm like, I'm not high maintenance. I camp.
Yeah, I can. I feed the dogs.
I feed the dogs. I take the rubbish out when you're not home. I'm a full vibe. Plus, I'm an independent woman. I do all this shit.
You are.
I look after me. But yeah, weddings in 20-something days where we've got beautiful weather. We know we will.
Definitely.
Got a beautiful dress.
Black attire.
Black tie event. So everyone's going to be looking 50 out of 10.
Yes.
Seeing a lot of the dresses. Everyone's
me out of 10.
Chef's kiss. Beautiful friends. Beautiful vibes.
Got to do my own hair and makeup, but it's fine. We'll figure it out.
That though.
Yeah, I'm decent. Like I'll put in effort and time that day. I normally do my makeup.
I don't wear makeup, but
no,
I will on the wedding day.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
I'm having a pre-thing the Friday night.
Yes.
What is that? What does that entail?
Well, we're doing like a rehearsal so the people in my wedding can walk down the aisle because it's quite big. But we've just got our closest loved ones coming for some Italian, some cocktails, a little bit of kissing. You know, we'll all kiss, a group kiss, something like that. A couple of photos.
Group kissy.
Just to get like the vibes. Yeah, because a lot of people are traveling for the wedding. So I thought we might as well make the most of it and see each other for 2 days.
Yeah, well, that's why I booked the 2 nights. And it's nice.
It is nice. And it's close.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Well, you just gave me the list. So I just went with the list. And it was so lucky because my email got hacked. Fuck you, whoever did that when I was in Europe. So long story short, I messaged her the other night and I downloaded booking.com again. And it was gone. Thank God I sent her the screenshot of the confirmation and the pin so I could put that in. And it was going to expire that night. I didn't tell you that.
Oh my God.
I didn't pay it. And I would have lost it. And it was all sold out. Everything was sold out. I bought it so long ago.
And it's like such a small town.
Yeah.
And there's lots of people coming. So, you know, everyone's booking accommodation. And I'm like, if you haven't booked yet.
Like I saw other places where I was like, it's giving rapey vibes and I'm scared. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be in the bush on my own.
Yeah, you need to feel safe. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one I feel really safe. But yeah, I love weddings, man. I love. Like I say it all the time, especially for you. Like, especially for my good friends. I'm like, I love, like real authentic love. And I haven't been to a wedding in a long time.
I know. And it's all worked out. Like everything has been so hard, but now we're doing this. We're here. We're doing it. We're flowers. We've got beautiful food, beautiful music. We got mainly all girl stuff.
The female. Oh, you just did.
Yeah.
Tell them.
So we've done mainly as many female local vendors that we could. So big on the local vendors, but so big on the female vendors. So our DJ's a girl, our celebrant's a girl,
the pussy.
Our chef is a girl.
As she should
our
be.
Bartender's a girl.
Love it.
A few of our servers are girls. That was a little bit out of our control though, because you know they have to hire staff.
Can't be discriminating.
Women only. But yeah, lots of it's all girl power. It's all pussy power. Our photographer's a girl. Everything.
I love that. It's such a fucking mood.
I know there was 70 people coming, and I reckon there's probably 10 men at all of that. They're just husbands.
Beautiful. I'm like, this is my kind of wedding. Like, it's just full women.
It is.
Like, and that's our favorite thing.
I love it. I love to empower them.
You do.
I love my money to go to them, especially if they're single moms. I want my money to go where it's needed, you know. Everyone has an AJ. They do. They just have to make sure that they look around and don't just settle. You know?
Honey, we're not looking. We're waiting for it to come to us sitting at our
knock
house.
Knock on the door.
I'm waiting for it to come when I'm sitting watching my Netflix. Like, I'm that bitch.
But I'll also fight you if you knock on my door, okay?
Yeah, literally. Like, I'm content. I'll just chill what I've been doing the last few years.
That's right.
And if it happens, it happens, which it will. I prefer it to happen now when I'm in my prime and I look good and I like physically and I feel good mentally. I mean, the only difference is I don't want it to happen when I'm like when I'm 50, 60. Because I'm not going to, that's me. I probably will. I'll be like a Kim Kardashian. Like, I'll get surgery and shit. You know what I mean? So I'm cool of waiting. But should we, because I've been waiting for guests, should we read out some of the questions we had from the ladies?
Yeah, absolutely.
From the ladies.
All right. The first one, do we want to do I found out my girlfriend slept with a major rap artist years ago when he was in Oz. Love it. So, girlfriend slept with a major rap artist years ago when he was in Oz. Love it. But then we got on the topic of sleeping with NRL players who had girlfriends at the time. I do feel bad for the girlfriends, but why don't these players just be single instead of cheating? That's relevant to people in general, though.
Yeah. I've dated a football player. Like I used to have this. I wouldn't like my thing is sports guys. Before the bad boys, I loved football players.
Yeah.
That's who they are. Like this, they're just known for it. This is because they get all the attention of females. Like they party hard. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think the question is, does she know? I think the question is she aware they have girlfriends? Because you seem to be aware, so she's aware. So for me, are they not worse than each other? Like, yeah, it's not her responsibility because he has a girlfriend, but it is woman code. Like, I wouldn't do that with a famous football player if I knew he had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
People know through Instagram, unless.
But you can, if someone's famous, right, you go to do a quick Google.
It's very easy to find out.
It takes 2 seconds to find out, but like, we're not going to take the blame away from him. But at the same time, I would never sleep with someone that had a partner.
No, and it seems like, respectfully, your girlfriend likes the celebrity type figure. So I think she has a certain type she's going for. She's beelining for, like, she obviously, I know girls like this too. She would probably know where they are, what clubs they're going out to. She'd see on Insta, you know what I mean? I know girls that have done that.
Yeah, a bit of clout.
Yeah, and they'll go there deliberately knowing the players will be there. I'm not saying this girl, but I mean, obviously,
she's not a girl's girl, obviously.
No, sorry.
That's sad.
Not. Yeah, because she's, by the sound of it, she knows there's partners. So, and there's, like you said, you can do research.
Takes 2 seconds. But also, if you're just like sleeping with someone because of who they are, then I guess you're not really going to give 2 flying fucks if they've got a wife.
Yeah, football players are wild, though. Like, true story, I had my ex, they like were having, like, you know how they love to party, like party, like drugs, you know what I mean? I came home from work. This is way, like, I was like, I don't know, early 20s. I came home from work and I had one of his friends naked doing ballet in the front of my front yard. This is when I lived on the Gold Coast. This is a fucking true story. So they're wild. I'm talking naked, like pillow, is it pirouettes, whatever they're called, like the kicks, doing the kicks. And I went inside and I said, he's dancing naked in our front yard. And this was like Varsity Lakes or something. Like, it was a decent suburb. So they're pretty crazy. So if they can do that naked, they're going to cheat on their girlfriends.
Oh, yeah.
It depends. They let it get to their head, do you think?
100%. I think a lot of people think there's no consequence. Like, if you've got money or if you've got a bit of, like, notoriety, like, there's no consequence or whatever. But
and there's a good chance the girlfriend might stay with the football player because of the money and the power.
Yeah, which is...
We don't know that, but I'm just saying, so maybe she might even be... I think some girlfriends know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
They're not stupid.
Imagine spending your weekend worrying about where, like, famous people are, though. Like, yeah, that's a bit odd.
It would ruin my mental health. I thought you meant your partner being famous. I would be like, I don't think I could.
Oh, yeah, that would ruin my mental health.
Yeah,
for
like,
sure.
I'm trustworthy and I don't get jealous, but that would make me jealous.
Imagine being a girl being like, I need to comb the Instagram of the club.
Well, she would have had to, like, just respectfully to your friend, just by the message, it seems like she knows what she wants and she's going to go get it.
Which means she's probably not a great friend to you either, to be honest.
Damn. She said it, not me.
She's not a girl's girl, So
I think the point of this story is men will be men. That's how I think, which is I don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
But this doesn't surprise me. So let's not put it down to football players, but are they better known to cheat? Absolutely. But does your friend also know what she's doing? Absolutely. So there's that. I don't really have a conclusion. I don't think we should blame the men, but I mean, men are pigs.
Oh, we can blame the men for sure.
Oh, yeah. I just said men are pigs.
But
I mean?
Also feel like your friend probably, like, she
doesn't care. I don't think she wakes up with a conscience. Yeah. I think you do because you're a good person.
Yeah.
I don't think she does.
It's hard to be friends when you've got differing opinions like that, though.
Yeah, and who knows? You only send us a little bit. Who knows what's the conversation the two of you have?
But when you're loyal to your girlfriend too, right? You're in this position, like, you know how we love each other and we're so loyal to one another. And then it's like, if your friend fucks up once, it's like, well, I got my girl's back, I can't, like, I'm not going to dob her in, like, that's awful. But then the other time is like, if this happens all the time, it's like,
it's a character trait for she is.
Yeah, I can't be a friend if you're going to be, like, a terrible person.
Like, I wouldn't be friends with someone that, like, I would not be friends with someone, like, that cheats. I've had friends that have cheated on their boyfriend, like that didn't, I wouldn't say deserve it, but there was no reason to do it. It was just like a thing.
I've done it.
And I've said, I don't judge you, but I've said straight to them, I don't like that, because I'm not a cheater personally. Like, it's not something I do. I don't respect it. I think it's weak. I think just like leave someone.
I cheated on someone when I was young and dumb. And in my head, I kind of like,
I mean, I kissed a guy on a break, but I think I was like 16 at school. I don't even know. You know what I mean?
You're good.
Yeah, I'm definitely not into it.
When I'm loyal, I'm loyal. But sometimes I think when I'm in a bad position and I cheat on that person, I kind of like rationalize it in my brain by going like, I'm going to get out of this position by being with this person, or I'm doing something to get out of that bad place. But I think I've only done it once or twice, and I was in my early 20s. And both of those times, how you get them is how you lose them.
Definitely.
I got them through cheating and I lost them through cheating. So I do believe in that how you get them is how you lose them.
On that note, hope we helped you. I don't know if we did, or did we just run down your thread? I'm not sure, but we're being honest.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I loved this.
Thank you. It was really nice.
And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you coming and being my first guest. I knew you would be the perfect option, and it flowed, baby. It was easy.
This was nice.
I don't remember what we talked about.
I can't wait to be on again, and I really love what you're doing. I listen to every single episode.
Thank you. It means a lot to me.
And I'm proud of you. I remember when we were just writing some little notes down in my bedroom.
Episode notes down of what I wanted to do. And
from the very start. So when this is a huge success and you're big and famous, I'm your manager.
Yes.
Don't forget about me, baby girl.
It will be. So,
it will be. Number one, thank you for having me.
On that note, before we go, I love to say happy Sunday, refresh, get your mind right, get your vibes right for the next week, because you need to start Monday off on a good note. I say that all the time. You start your Monday right, I guarantee you're going to have a better
Get your washing done, get your slow cook, get your meal preps done. That's what I'm going home to do.
Let's go. But enjoy your Sunday. We've enjoyed ours. What a pleasure. I'm in the best mood. Thank you so much, and I love you.
Love you.
Give me a hug.
Love you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Mwah, mwah.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, stay cool in person.